Mother Mary Undoes the Knots by Lisa Espinosa. I can't quite remember when I first learned of Mother Mary as the undoer of knots, but when I did, it made so much sense to me. Of course, Mother Mary would be masterful at undoing the knots that keep us stuck. These can include emotional knots that keep us consumed in grief, regret, or self-doubt, spiritual knots that block our connection to our soul, physical knots that keep our bodies constricted in heaviness or pain, relationship knots that keep us attached to people we've outgrown. I can go on and on. The point is that the power of Mother Mary's unconditional love can dissolve these knots if we ask. In the past weeks, I've been calling on this particular gift of Mother Mary as I've dealt with some very challenging circumstances. I've also invoked her in several client sessions where my clients felt particularly knotted up. In my mind, Mother Mary's always very calmly and joyfully untangling the knots. I've noticed that these constrictions that feel so big to our human mind are minuscule to Mother Mary. As I've continued to invoke Mother Mary as the undoer of knots, her guidance to me is always to let myself receive the relief of knowing she's on the job. Trust me, she says. Think of all the knots I've already untangled in your life. And so I choose to trust, even when my intellect can argue that whatever I'm worried about is just too serious of an issue. This past weekend, a little Mother Mary miracle occurred. On Saturday, as I randomly opened Instagram, I saw a post from someone I follow. He had shared a little video of his visit to the Santuario de María Desatadora de Nudos, sanctuary to Mary, undoer of knots. I gleefully thought to myself, how cool! There's a sanctuary to her here in Mexico. To be clear, there is a big devotion to Mary in Mexico, but I'd never seen anything specifically dedicated to her as the undoer of knots. I quickly read the caption, hoping whatever state the sanctuary was in, it wasn't too many hours away. I literally gasped when I learned it was in the city where we live, and then almost fell off my chair when I learned it was a mere 20-minute drive away. All this time, this special sanctuary was waiting for me. So, of course, we went there on Sunday. It was one of the most beautiful outdoor shrines I've ever been to. Wonderful trees, birds singing, images of Mother Mary, the undoer of knots, and hundreds of ribbons swaying in the wind with the petitions of all those who come to her for help. I wrote my requests in the ribbons. I included a prayer for all of you. I also wrote all the things I was grateful for. As I stood in front of her image under hundreds of ribbons, I prayed from my heart. I realized once again how much courage it takes for us to truly release our knots to the Divine Mother. We have fears of being disappointed, fears that we're not worthy of this divine help, fears of actually receiving our answered prayers. But Mother Mary understands all these fears. And so as I stood in front of her, I let myself receive as she dissolved my knots. She gave me many messages to share with you. One of her main ones was to come to her with all of our burdens and to do this often, to bring the little and big knots to her every day. She said, "The world needs your light. These knots get in the way of you shining your light as bright as it's meant to. Let me dissolve your knots." So, my dears, be the powerful light you came here to be. Let yourself receive the undoing of your knots. Much love, Lisa. P.S. If you want to see more pictures of this little pilgrimage I took on Saturday, click this link to see my Instagram page. I shared lots of images. PSS, my upcoming masterclass, Be the Pillar of Light in the Storm, is next Monday. I'll teach you how you are meant to help in the world in a way that's powerful, grounded, and unknotted. Click the link. MPSSS, I believe, if you want private help with being this pillar of light. I can help you. And I can help you do that as you cultivate a life you love, regardless of whatever challenges you're facing. You can sign up for a free breakthrough consult with the link provided. Many blessings, Lisa.